Hi, my name's Keith Cooper from Northlight Images, and in this short video I'm going to show how to do a panoramic print on the Epson XP-15000. Now, a small printer like this is not one perhaps you'd normally associate with panoramic prints, but it does allow custom sizes, and in this instance I've loaded a sheet of double A4 paper. And I'm going to put a print on this. Now, double A4 is 210 by 594 millimeters. It's actually half an A2 sheet cut down the middle. So it's not that widely available, but you can get A2, and if you've got a cutter you can get it cut down to size. And there are suppliers. My local supplier here in Leicester, Paper Spectrum, they provide papers in this size and some others. This particular one is just a generic gloss paper, so I'm using the Epson Premium Gloss Profile, which I know works perfectly well with it, and I'm going to be printing from the Epson software. Now, I've put this piece of paper in, set it up here, and I've set a custom size in the size options when it comes up on the screen here. You don't have to do that, you can override it, but as I often say, I prefer to set sizes and paper types on the printer as well as the computer, and then if I get a mismatch, it's a good hint that I've done something wrong, and it's a great way of not wasting paper, which with sheets like this and larger sheets you really don't want to. But anyway, that's all set up, ready to go. So the printer's set up with wireless connection to the laptop. I could equally well have Ethernet or USB, doesn't really matter, works perfectly well with this. But anyway, that's all set up now to print from a laptop. Now I've opened the image, it's in Photoshop, but it doesn't really matter where it's from. I'm using the Epson Print Layout software here. You'll see it's an existing panoramic image of harbour in Cornwall. It doesn't quite fit this particular paper size. Now, I don't mind trimming it, but if you wanted to, you could crop it a little bit, you could make it a little bit narrower, and it would fit inside the space available. Now, I've selected the printer. I've selected the paper type as Epson Premium Glossy. Paper size is one I've defined before. You just set the measurements in this, and I've called it double A4. We're using the rear paper feed, and I'm printing this at high quality on this glossy paper. Just gives a little bit of edge. Doesn't make much difference, but some papers it does. But anyway, it's set up here. I've adjusted the scaling using the various centering and positioning options, and for color profile I'm using the basic premium glossy paper. Now, it's auto selected this, I don't mind. If I was doing a lot of printing with this paper, I'd make a custom profile, but it's not really worth it for just this one-off, particularly since I know that the Epson profiles are perfectly good. I'm using relative colorimetric rendering intent because it just gives a little bit more edge to the colour, but it's worth checking because it's not the same for every media type and every different image. Now, all I need to do is just press print and wait for it to send to the printer. The printer's woken up, and it will load the paper. Should just load it straight. Sometimes helps just to hold the paper up a bit, just to make it feed a bit more evenly. But it should, when it's ready, should just feed. And there we go. Paper's going in and it's starting to print. Because I set the size and paper type here and on the software and they match, it's just gone off and print. So just wait for the print to come out. And here we can see the print starting to come out. Looks fine. I mean, this is a paper, basic glossy paper, that this printer prints very well on. So I'm not expecting this not to work. If you are trying a new paper and you're unsure, do take care to use some small samples to test beforehand, because it's much less irritating to mess up an A5 or a small piece of paper than it is a sheet panoramic one like this. One nice bit about the 15000 is that you can actually lift up the lid and have a look to see how your print is progressing. I wouldn't normally recommend this with moving parts and the like, but it's always great to watch your print appear, even after all the thousands of prints that I've done. One nice touch about the new Epson P700 and P900 is they actually have a window in the top and a light to light up the print area so you can see this happening. But this printer, you can actually just lift the lid. There we go. Should note that some printers, however, it will interrupt the printing if you lift the lid. So do check whether it will work for your printer or not. This one, it's fine. And there we go, one panoramic print of a rather grey day. Some fascinating clouds. I remember taking this. It's a panoramic multi-shot stitched. Literally, I just took the camera, portrait orientation, click, click, and a whole series of pictures like that. Stitched them together, cropped them, because if you do it handheld, the border may not be that even. And there we go. So there you have it. Panoramic printing on printer this size. There's no reason the custom paper size goes larger than this, so you can do larger prints. It handles A3 plus, not a bad little printer. Wouldn't probably use it for lots of prints like this because it takes a while to print, and also with the small ink cartridges, if you want to do a lot of colour printing, black and white as well, then perhaps a bigger printer might be your choice. But for a great office printer that also does nice pictures, this is not at all bad. Anyway, I hope these short videos are of use. Please feel free to ask questions. Let me know what you think, and thank you very much.